All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the End FGM Live. This is Jeremiah Kipainoi, and sorry for keeping you waiting a little bit. Today, we will be back to Kuria, where some things have been happening today. And without wasting much time, we'll just go straight to the campaigners on the ground as we wait for a representative of the anti-FGM board who has also been on the ground today. Remember that we are using the hashtag Stop Kuria FGM now, and use that to tweet on, basically to tweet as well as join or ask others to join via YouTube and Facebook, and FGM Live. So ask them to search for and FGM Live on YouTube and Facebook. Today we are joined by campaigners from Kuria, as well as a representative of the anti-FGM board, who's still on the way. We're still trying to reach out to him. So we will definitely let you know once he is here. But just to let you know that the anti-FGM board is mandated to end female genital mutilation by law here in Kenya, passed in 2011, and they have done quite some work in building awareness. Today, the girls are being cut in Kuria. What are they doing to make sure that that does not happen? It's a question that will be answered by our guest today, and we are ready to start off now. So very quick introduction from your end, Vincent and Tobias, all the way from Kuria.
Yes, Jeremiah, thank you so much once again for having this live session. And I want to say that my names are Vincent Muita, grassroots campaigner on ending FGM and an activist on the ground, and also working with a local community-based organization called Tunaweza Empowerment Organization.
Yeah.
So that is it for now, for introduction. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And over to you, Tobias, a quick introduction from you.
Mr. Kibainoi, once more for this live campaign. For introduction, I'm Tobias Maroa, an activist and a campaigner, vice call, club for Zinduka, Kenya, a CPO from this Kuria. Thank you.
All right. I hope that your connection will be better, in Kuria, Tobias. We just pray that it's going to be clear. Very quick update. Vincent, we had this conversation yesterday, and Mr. Nyerere, who is representing the anti-FGM board, the program officer, will be joining us in a few. He just said he's in the field. We had this conversation yesterday. What's happened today?
Thank you so much, Jeremiah. And I'm glad that now we are also having this conversation again. And as a campaigner and an activist on the ground in regards to ending female genital mutilation and other harmful cultural practices, I want to say that from yesterday there have been some few things unveiling themselves. That is to start with, as I had said earlier yesterday, that in the evening we were going to have more of cases of FGM preparation that were going to put girls at risk, especially being on a Sunday that the cutting was not there, but waking up today morning. I want to report that areas that there are areas that we received cases of girls being at risk because others, the preparation were underway, and these major areas have been the major one has been at Nyamonsese village, that is in Kuria West, and from yesterday girls were at risk. Various girls and they've been working with particularly we have been coordinating particularly with amongst ourselves to ensure that we coordinate the rescue. So I want to tell you that from yesterday we've been trying to reach out to police and ensuring that we report this. Really glad, Jeremiah, that the children's officer have been very, very cooperative. The children's officer, Madam Janet for Kuria West, for Mabera sub-county, and she was able to coordinate yesterday night, overnight, to ensure that at least rescue was being done. But it's unfortunate that we've gotten report that the police have made some arrests. And I'm really fearing because the slow, whatever we reported, the slow response to these cases. And I must attest that the police have reported, the Gobera police station have reported that there some arrests have been made that have been referred to Hispania police station. 6 girls have been arrested and around 5 parents who are being held at the police station at Hispania, waiting for the process to start, the prosecution to start for them to be charged. But I want to tell you that I'm really fearing for these girls who have been also arrested in the process, because I know that from yesterday to today morning, a lot has happened, and even I'm fearing that most of them, even it can be all of them that have been cut, but I don't want to preempt that, but because of the situation they were yesterday. Another situation that has erupted again is that there's also a woman who was also on the ground, a lady who is married at Nyamonsense community, coming from the low community, was today also the community was today also was in danger, because her house was broken into and her property was destroyed, and she managed to lock herself in one door and made a call to me directly, and I was able to do some few referrals by ensuring that I make calls here and there. I also noticed that there was slow response of the police in regards in matters, because they were saying that there is only one car that is they are using that was multitasking. But again, I want to say that I had to move with speed and ensure that I sent the police, the national police line to her, to ensure that she was able to the national police line, who connected with the Mabera police station. And as I'm speaking now, she is at the. So you can imagine from at that particular time around 11, around 10, 11, she got to help around. I can say around 2, 3 there. So you can see the response, or maybe the process of rescuing her. And again, at the rescue center where I am now, I'm seeing my power is going low. Where I'm now, and I must report that there is a woman who was also had rescued a child and brought her to this rescue, because going back at home, the father wanted this girl to be cut, and then the man has just come some hours ago to this rescue and was shouting, making commotion. But luckily enough, the chief we managed to call the chief area and assistant chief area, who spoke to the father. But it was really, really unfortunate that we don't have security. We didn't have security here with us at that particular time, but chief was able to use their own tactics to ensure that they scare the man out, because she was calling the names and even calling the mother that she's here in this space to protect our Sagane. That means that they uncut girls. And again, we have done
Vincent, I know, and I know your phone is almost going out. So I just want to ask a few questions here, because I see on Twitter that the anti-FGM board has already tweeted, and I'll read one that I think would be of interest to you. Authenticated reports from the security agencies confirm that 10 girls have been cut, of which 7 were cut across the border in Tanzania. Police have rescued 152 girls at risk and of FGM, and so far arrested 9 persons, including parents to the cut girls. First question: is it just 10 girls that have been cut, and 7 from across Tanzania? And second, where are the police keeping these children, the 152 girls that are at risk of FGM, if they've rescued them? And were they involved in the same?
I don't want to prehend where the police are keeping these girls, but one thing that we must attest, even when from Monday, when the cutting was starting in Kuria, there was dispute through administration that they were not cutting. But I want to say that I think the rescue they are talking about, the number of girls that they have just they have just seen here, because we are having a number of girls here at this rescue, and also maybe adding to the number of the 6 that they have reported that are on their custody, and maybe the others that maybe they can say. But I want to say that the only reported that we've seen from them reporting that have arrested are 6 girls with them. So I want to say that because of their response, I want to not prehend, but there's high possibility. I don't want to say somebody who's on the ground. I don't want to say that it's only 7. I think moving forward, because we've seen even at the rescue center, more girls still coming because their lives are in danger. and also reports keeping on to come. I just said that that woman is at the police station recording a statement at the police station. I just want to say that the number of girls who are cut and who are hidden or are put somewhere in the community, majorly in these villages, especially across the border, that is Marabu village in Kenya, and also in Nyamusense and parts of Iraha, surpasses the number that is being reported. I think it's only, I think the police is only majorly basing their reporting on the girl and on the arrest that they have made. But they are a lot is still happening. They're still continuing the investigation, and I think a lot of since Monday. I think if we can prehend since Monday with the type of the response that the administration is doing, I think it is a big number that has been cut. That maybe arrest or any other action has not been taken. I think they're speaking on only on what is already at their death, Jeremiah. But it is a big number of girls that have been cut, and a big number that we are trying to rescue. And I know from today, going even from tomorrow, a big number will continue. So it is just the administrating and the anti-FGM continuing to putting measures that will ensure that no more cutting continues. And from one measure that I've seen them putting in place is maybe summoning the cultural-led elders who are going around now and ensuring that they are giving a verbal declaration that there's no FGM, which we are also looking forward if it will work out as cultural elders go as around, though they are also fear that also the cultural elders themselves are in two groups. There's one group and the other group. So I don't. We really pray that this works, even with the division among the cultural elders, Jeremiah.
I'm not. Just to clarify, what's the division about, Vincent?
Okay, there's amongst the cultural elders, it has been hinted that there's cultural elders who had initially been met by the government, and they are also part of the cultural elders who have been exited from that cultural elders team, maybe elders team, and it is preempt that there's some undercover might, or maybe we can call it some push among themselves, because we are in the community and we overheard and we know see what is happening. That is that division, because when the process even of engaging elders was happening in Kuria, these cultural elders hinted at sometimes that there are those other elders who are brokers, who are going to meet the government initially. So it is not them. So there is narrative of original cultural elders and brokers that has been training, not only today, not only when this FGM started, but far away back then when the president was doing some meetings with section of religious leaders, cultural religious leaders and elders at State House. So this is where these issues erupted, and it's continuing. So we see another section going undercover to see that. Let us see what will happen. And that, as early as I said, that cultural elders were also in the process of denouncing, and they were given resources in terms of cash to ensure that they procure what they wanted to use so that they can denounce FGM, Jeremiah. So I think that is what division, when I talk about division or any tug of war between themselves happening. But we've seen cultures who are summoned today by the anti-FGM board and Mabera and the DCC, the Kuria West and Mabera DCC. They are moving around with a car and announcing that there's no more FGM. So we are looking forward to see this work and maybe prevent cutting that we are behind.
Still on the same, Vincent. Yesterday we were having conversations, and you personally reported that the police were denying the existence of FGM, at least the DCC in Mabera. Has the situation changed? And especially with the numbers that are being reported, 152 girls at risk of FGM have been rescued by the police. Are those statements an inclination, or basically a suggestion that someone is not telling the truth, or what is the truth in this case?
Jeremiah, like I said, we have girls that are in this rescue space that is temporal in a certain school. I'll not mention the school. That is temporal. That is what we know the number of girls or maybe rescue we are doing here, and most of them are being done has always been done by a team that is here, that is around four organizations that has been coordinating this. That is Tunaweza Empowerment that I represent. We have also Kuria West Network. We have Safe and Engage Foundation. We have Goseso and the other area there. The other Kuria West, the other side of Kuria, that is Ibuka, and the rest of the team. So talking about 150 that has been rescued by police, I don't know. I know it's a collective responsibility. Maybe if they're talking about including the ones that were being rescued, because as you've said, it was first initially refuted that no FGM was going on. But I can assure you, Jeremiah, as we are speaking, even the administration is now agreeing to the term that FGM actually is happening on the ground. But the narrative that is coming out is that it is because of the border, it is because of the cross-border FGM from our counterparts, maybe the Tanzanian community, that brought all this to Kenya. But again, I want to say that in terms of numbers, I cannot talk on behalf of the police, because maybe they may be talking on another number and a different number that they have rescued. But again, I know it's a collective responsibility, and I know that the number that we rescued that is at this place where I am currently are girls that have been rescued by activists who are us, who are on the ground, who are coordinating. But again, I think
All right, we lost Vincent.
and also the 5 parents that are there. Yes.
All right, we lost you, Vincent, for a moment. I'm just looking at Twitter right now, and I can see a tweet that goes out and says, we further held a meeting with Kuria West Deputy County Commissioner Mr. Andrew Mwiti to assess the situation of FGM in Kuria West and the fact-checking on the number of FGM incidents in the region, and strategize on how to stop and planned cutting of girls in Kuria West. Earlier reported was that girls were also being asked whether they truly were running away from FGM. Is it that there is no facts, or what happened in that case, Vincent?
Okay, during the meeting, I think the administration brought the narrative that we want to hear the perspective of the girls, because at some point, we even had an administrator saying that maybe these girls came to this rescue space because maybe can be an example, maybe because they hear maybe there's food in this safe space, which we refuted in that meeting and said that we are even struggling to call for resources. We are even struggling to ensure that the girls are eating. Christine is running up and down. I'm coordinating up and down the rescue at some point, even over the night. I didn't sleep even last night because of the calls and all that, and sharing information here and there for the rescue that was happening. And also Gregory, who is also running, and Goseso.
All right, we lost Vincent for a moment. I will just go straight on to you, Tobias, on your end. You are currently hosting girls in Kuria, and these girls have come from different parts of the of Migori, basically in Kuria. And very quickly, if you can give us an update of how many girls you have and what the situation is like on the ground. Tobias.
Well, thank you, Mr. Jeremiah. I first want to begin on the actual situation on the ground. Let us call a spade a spade. I want to say that FGM is taking is actually going to a higher state in Kuria.
Yeah. Sorry.
I remember Tuesday last week when I encountered the first case of FGM.
Yeah.
And I think I posted it, and it was quite absurd, and he was saying that I am posting something that I cannot attest that. I got
Tobias, you're losing you. We can't hear you very well. Sorry.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to know the fact that FGM is still on a rise.
Yeah.
Mabera sub-counter can say.
Yeah.
In the first place,
Yeah.
FGM started on 13th of December. That was the last Monday.
FGM, the cutting began on last Monday.
Yes, last Monday, that was on 13th.
Yeah.
And I want to believe that on 14th, that was on Tuesday, he encountered some girls who were cut.
On Tuesday.
And I raised the alarm.
Yeah.
And I want to categorically very often say that the DCC Mabera denied the whole process. To some extent, we were almost differing. But I want to say that the truth of the matter is that the government is doing very little to contain the menace.
Yeah.
Because at some time we have had some referrals, we have called the police. And one funny thing, and actually an annoying situation in Kuria, is when you need some rescue, when you need some help, you want to rescue some vulnerable girls. It's quite absurd when a government officer tells you that, yes, we have a vehicle, but it has no fuel. And
Tobias, on your end, I think we are past that, especially since we've talked about all those things yesterday. I just want to know what the situation today is on the ground, and I just want to know the status of the children that you're now hosting, and exactly what's happening in terms of the police. Is there any presence in the shelters that you're running?
Well, thank you. Fine, I want to say that the situation is that FGM is still on ground.
Yeah.
And concerning the safe spaces that we are running,
yeah,
I want to note that we are actually struggling to keep these girls here.
Yeah.
We are trying to reach out to well-wishers who can help us sustain the girls in the camps.
Yeah.
And since yesterday when the girls reported in the camps,
yeah,
I haven't seen any face of any policeman within.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Vincent dropped out. Asenath Mediga had joined, and we'll still try to add everyone as we go on. But just remember that we are tweeting with the hashtag Stop Kuria FGM Now. Stop Kuria FGM Now is the hashtag that we'll be using to further this conversation. Remember that we are in Kuria. Kuria is part of Migori County in the southwest of Kenya, and there is a surge in FGM cases. Since Monday the 13th, there were reported cases of individual girls being marched across the street and celebrations happening in daylight. As you've heard as well, the government has done a lot with other stakeholders to make sure that the elders are informed. And now, as Vincent had just told us, they are marching, they are going around the streets calling for stopping of the cut. So we still want to get the updates from Mr. Nyerere, who will be joining us from the Anti-FGM board. He's the programming officer. And just so you know, the Anti-FGM board is a body that was formed by government, from the law in 2011 that was passed. So it was just established from that, the Act of 2011, and then mandates, basically it mandates them to take care of the FGM situation across the country. In 2019, there was also a policy that was launched just to make sure that there is more coordination on the ground. That's why you see such elders who are engaged. The president has made different declarations to ensure that we are all on the same page in regards to ending FGM. And so he made a declaration to end FGM by 2022, leaving office next year. The question we all have now is, what next after 2022 with all the political commitments that were being made? And the Anti-FGM board has also been on the ground in different parts. But now the girls are being cut in Kuria. So the question is, was there no much preparation, and what is being done right now, as there is lots of silence as we speak? All right. So as we continue trying to add people to this call and having more panelists joining us today, I'd like to let you know that we are tweeting using the hashtag #StopKuriaFGM now. #StopKuriaFGM now on Twitter. And also feel free to leave your messages on Facebook as well as on YouTube. And we will try our best to keep them running. Okay, over to you, Tobias. Yes.
Yes, actually, I have an input. I want to believe that it is high time we end boardroom meetings. If we have to end this FGM issue, Mr. Kibaino, we have to go into the ground.
What do you mean by that?
Go deeper in villages.
Yeah.
I want to say that this actually boardroom meetings where we sit and cheat one another that FGM is not taking place or FGM has been contained. We need to go deeper in grassroots. We need to engage people who directly link the country to the victims, to the vulnerable girls. Mr. Kibaino, it's only in Kenya where you will find the kind of elders who perpetrate the issue and given money to contain and to end an offense they are perpetrating. It's only in Kenya. You give someone money to stop an offense, conducting an offense. It's quite shameful, I can tell. I believe that even this money that was used to give the clan of elders, it's money that could have been used maybe to set up rescue centers to rescue the vulnerable girls during this period.
All right, Tobias. Tobias, I think there is a lot of things to talk about, and I think it's really crucial for us to think about what the next steps really are in terms of helping the girls in Kuria today. Vincent, sorry, his phone was running out of power, and I will try our best to connect him because we still have lots of questions and notes that points we had taken just for the guests that were joining us today. So we'll just take a very quick and short break, and then when we come back, we will definitely continue with this conversation. So stay tuned. right, we're back. Now we are having Mr. Nyerere, who's joining us from Kuria. It's been a response that has happened since there was this call for action in Kuria. So Mr. Nyerere joins me on phone now. He's in a place with not very good internet. And thank you very much for accepting to join us, Bwana Nyerere. We just go straight to it. I was just looking at the anti-FGM board Twitter handle, and you said that you had a meeting with Kuria West Deputy Commissioner Mr. Andrew Mwiti to assess the situation of FGM in Kuria. Just let me know, what were you able to do today?
Okay, thank you, sir. Today we actually paid a courtesy call to the office of the county commissioner.
Yeah.
That is actually what procedure demands, because according to the county FGM steering committee,
yeah,
that committee, the chairperson is normally the county commissioner. So anytime we go to any county,
yeah,
on matters to FGM, we normally pay a courtesy call to the county commissioner, at least to get a situation of the FGM situation in the county. So today we had a status call.
Yeah.
But the county commissioner was not in, so we had somebody starting in for him. So he actually gave us a situation analysis of FGM in Kuria.
Yeah.
Then after that, we went to Kuria West. Kuria West is actually in Mabera.
Yeah.
Where we had a meeting with the county commissioner, DCC, for Mabera West. And also an active DCC.
Yeah.
We also had a meeting with the police commandant
of
Kuria West.
Yeah.
And we also had a meeting with this NIS.
Yeah.
And the agenda of the meeting was for us to have analysis of the situation
in
Kuria.
Yeah.
And they gave us statistics on what they are doing as a government.
What are the numbers?
Yeah, so they told us that they have so far they have witnessed 10 cases.
Mm-hmm.
And out of these 10 cases, 23 happened in Kenya, and 7 happened in Tanzania. So girls were taken to Tanzania for the cut.
Yeah.
And then they were taken back to Kenya.
So it's only 10 cases that they know of.
Only 10 cases which they know. And we also have a rescue center which we also visited today.
Yeah.
So that rescue center, like the one in one of the high schools, has 81 girls.
Yeah.
We are from there right now.
Yeah.
And we also had a meeting with cultural elders. They say, in fact, they came later on to join the meeting. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a few months ago, we had a meeting with a consensus building forum with the cultural elders from Kuria.
Yeah.
And they agreed that they gave us some requirements to facilitate them to go to their shrines to be able to come back and make a declaration.
Yeah.
So last week, the county government, because it was supported by UNICEF, those elders were supported to go to the shrines from Friday last week.
Yeah.
So our concern was the elders were to go to the mountains of the shrines.
Yeah.
But our question was, how comes that FGM is still going on even after we had an agreement with the elders?
Yeah.
Because they're actually the opinion leaders.
Yeah.
So we were forced to call the elders. I mean, one of the elders, the chairman of Mugumbe clan. You know, the Kurias have 4 clans.
Yeah.
And all of them don't cut at a go. So right now, the Mugumbe clan is actually cutting.
Yeah.
So we had to call the chairman of the Mugumbe clan to come and explain to us how come that our agreement was that they are the opinion leaders and they are supposed to end FGM.
Yeah.
How comes FGM is going on? So they came. Well, actually, the elder came and one of the coordinators. And for them, they actually disowned. They disowned that process. They say that whoever is actually going on with the FGM, that what is against the wishes of the elders, because the elders have confirmed that they are aiding FGM, and they have even managed to communicate that to the Mugumbe clan. So we agree with them that if they can do some, they can create some awareness. So right now, as we talk, the elders are going around in a loudspeaker, communicating to the community members that what is happening around the community is illegal, and as elders, that is only that particular process, because for them, it's time for them to end FGM. So we've also had a meeting with the CSOs. These are the community-based organizations working around. In fact, they're the ones who've managed to rescue these guys.
Yeah, because I was actually asking one of them, Vincent, how many, because on your Twitter handle, which is now being broadcasted live, it's tweeted that 2 hours ago that there were 152 girls rescued by the police. Yet now he's saying it's just 10 confirmed cases. So I don't understand where we stand.
Okay, so we're talking about rescued girls, and those girls who've been cut, eh?
Yes.
So girls who've been cut, we're talking about 10, eh?
Mm-hmm.
And we are saying that out of 10, 3 were cut in Kenya, and then 7 were cut across the border. That is actually in Tanzania.
All right.
But now, 152 girls have been rescued, eh?
Yeah.
This one means the police swung in action before they were cut. So some of them actually were taken to the rescue centers.
Yeah.
Because they learned about maybe the process being organized maybe by the community members, maybe some of them by their guardians, some of them by their parents. So they had to be rescued. Some of them had to go to the rescue center. Some of them had to be rescued. So we have got 2 rescue centers. There's one at in one of the high schools, Mabera West.
Yeah.
Then there's another one in Kuria East, which is actually under Zinduka.
Yeah.
So the one in Zinduka is more of an ARP.
Yeah.
Where girls, when they close schools, they go there for life skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the actual one, which is in one of the high schools in Mabera West,
Yeah.
which has got 81 girls. Those ones are actually the ones who are rescued. Generally, we have got now around 151 girls who are in centers as a result of running away from FGM.
There have been videos, and we are also watching them right now on the screen, where we can see people dancing on the road. And at least from what I can see here, and you'd confirm if that's Kenya or Tanzania, but from what I can see on my end is girls being marched on the streets and people dancing. And the activists that sent such videos and the informers on the ground basically sent those videos from the Kenyan side. Is it something that you can comment on?
So that's why we're saying that initially we had the cutting in Tanzania, and even we as a FGM body managed to look at those videos, but it's not very easy for us to establish whether it was in Kenya or in Tanzania. But we are not discounting the fact that FGM is not taking place in Kenya. That's why we are saying that 3 cases have been reported in Kenya, and 7 were actually reported in Tanzania. And for the Kenyan side, already the police have arrested 9 perpetrators, and those perpetrators actually the parents of those guys who've already undergone the cut. So already we have 10 cases, we have 9 perpetrators who've been arrested, then we have around 151 girls who've been rescued. And actually what is going on, maybe the video, I would wish to know whether it is, when were they captured? When that was captured?
It's from this week, at least from last Friday. So you'd probably do your homework and confirm that from the anti-FGM board, which I genuinely think would have been a priority to you just to confirm as you went to the ground.
Yes, I want to believe that the same videos which you have are the same ones which we also have. So we've actually looked at those videos just to know if that.
Yeah.
That's why we are confirming that FGM is going on, and that's why we are saying that we are giving you those statistics that it's happening between Kenya and Tanzania. But you have to know that we've actually developed a cross-border action plan to end FGM between Kenya and the 4 other neighboring countries.
Yeah.
So I think that action plan will be able now to help us put into place interventions to address cross-border FGM. You understand that Kenya is actually in the middle of other 4 countries. That is Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia, and Somalia. All these countries actually practice FGM. And therefore, that cross-border action plan, which was launched recently by the member states, will be able to give us now how to map into dealing with the cross-border FGM.
We'll take a short break, and we'll still have Mr. Nyerere here just as we add the activists on the ground. Remember that you're tweeting using the hashtag Stop Kuria FGM now, and we're really glad to have all the stakeholders here that you can hear what the situation looks like on the ground today. So we just take a short break now, and when we come back, we will definitely continue. All right. Thank you very much for holding on. Vincent Mwita and Nyerere, who is representing the anti-FGM board, are right now online. Vincent, just we lost you while you're giving us an update, and we don't want to take much of your time because I think there is much importance. It looks like there is a consensus that we have girls that have been cut. 150 plus girls are in a rescue center. Mr. Nyerere says that 7 girls have been cut in Tanzania and 3 have been cut in Kenya. There are some videos that were shared with us. So just to confirm if they are authentic or not, Vincent, the numbers in Kenya.
Yes, Jeremiah, thank you so much. I'm really sorry because power has not been near. Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you, definitely, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm sorry for getting lost. But I just want to say that on the number of girls that are cut, I want to say that those who are rescued at the rescue center that is at is in some secondary school that is in Kuria West. I mentioned them because of privacy issues, and quite a number of girls are here. And I want to say that for the number of girls that that the administration is reporting, about 7, those are agreeing that they are maybe they're having maybe they're speaking of what they already have at their desk. But I want to say that with the cutting that has been ongoing from the villages, I know a number of girls have been cut and on hideout because strategies have changed. We could see girls being transported with motorbikes, and you could see that now even a strategy has come, an emerging issue, an emerging trend that we can see even the circumcisers doing it at home. This is coming from the community members and our informers that are on the ground as we coordinate the rescue. But on the girls who are rescued, I know we've been receiving a number of girls here and through phone calls, and also ensuring that they use the local border to ensure that they come to safe space to ensure that their lives are out of. Hello.
Sorry, Sinath, we're actually on another call, but I'll just add the panelists as they were there. Sorry for that. I'll just quickly add all the panelists right now. Sorry for that. We are just back. We now have our panel full. Sinath Muthiga, who joins us from Equality Now, as well as Vincent Mwita, who is in Kuria, and Mr. Nyerere, who was also in Kuria representing the anti-FGM board, and Tobias Maroa, who is in Kuria as well. So we're just having a conversation about the situation in Kuria, Kenya right now, and we'll just continue from the updates that we were having. But rather than going back and what has been done and what's not being done, I think one crucial thing that we have to talk about is what next. And we probably, before we come to you, Asinath, on matters FGM and what has been done so far, especially from Equality Now's perspective here in Kenya, for people who are joining from outside the country or people who are not really informed on what's happened, what's been happening in this world. Mr. Nyerere, so you've met all these stakeholders today, and you've been to Kuria and you've been campaigning for at least 4 days now. What's next? What's the plan after this?
Okay, of course, it's not that we began programs in Kuria today. Actually, Kuria is one of our 24 sport countries, and we've been focusing.
I mean, after there was this surge of FGM cases, this is the first day you are beginning to take patrols in Kuria.
No, it's not the first time. We've been on the ground all along.
All along? This week?
Yeah, all along. Yeah.
This past week?
Yeah, of course, you know, we can't say that it's not only the province of FGM, but on the ground that went FGM.
Mr. Nyerere, we've been having these conversations since last week, okay? And since last week, we've been calling upon the anti-FGM board, looking at your handles, reaching out to the board itself, but no comment. And we made that publicly in the last conversation. So we just want to know what's next, Mr. Nyerere.
Yeah, what we are saying is that what's next for us is that today, after arising for today's meeting, then we've agreed that we need to actually up in terms of surveillance and patrol. We had a meeting with the DCC and also his security team, and the agreement is we need to heighten the patrols, and also at the same time we also need to increase our surveillance and also information gathering. And like tomorrow we are going to have a meeting with the sub-county anti-FGM steering committee. That is for both Kuria East and Kuria West. We want to have these committees in place so that even if just for 1 hour, not the whole day, because we know you have culture. So tomorrow we're going to have a meeting with these two committees. And they are able to
Yes, sorry, we cannot hear you at all, Bwana Nyerere. I think we'll just maybe shift off as you get more connection. Asinath, on your end, very quick generalization from you from what you've seen in the situation in Kuria. We've been running this since Friday.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Yeah, just a quick observation, and if there's something that Equality Now has done on your end due to the situation in Kuria.
The situation in Kuria is really disappointing, to say about the least, because governments need to protect women and girls from such vices as FGM, and especially now that they're in holidays and the schools are closed. And also commitment needs really to be translated into action, because for instance in Kenya we're saying that we'll end FGM by 2022, which is next year, and now we're seeing these reports that are very frustrating, that girls are being mutilated across the border of Kenya and Tanzania, and therefore it calls for a lot of not just concern, but the government needs really to move with speed and action against the perpetrators who have committed these crimes, and ensure that the girls will be protected, not just now, but all the way, because that is the right. The government needs to protect its citizens, and with such commitments that we've had and interventions, we are seeing more needs to be done. We are not saying that they have not done anything, but we're just saying that more interventions need to come out so that we can protect these girls from FGM. And also because there have been reports that have been launched, that there have been action plans that have been done, but where is the action? So we should someone just said we need to move away from boardrooms and workshops. Action needs to be taken, and needs to be taken immediately. The Minister of Interior and Coordination should be on the ground and looking for ways to protect the other girls who are at risk now from FGM, so that we save. It's really now ensuring that we prevent, to avoid any further FGM happening, and also having those discussions even with our counterparts in Tanzania to see what are the mitigating measures we can put in place in urgently to ensure that no other girls are false statistic of FGM. Over.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Asenath. I'm sorry we had lost Mr. Nyerere, so I'll just take a very quick break as we also bring this to a close on the last steps. So hold on, we'll be back in a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and we just want to bring this to a close. Vincent, you're here. You've heard Asenath's sentiments on the FGM issue in Kuria, and now Tobias as well. We're just asking what next after this, and if we had time and as well connection from Mr. Nyerere, we would have sought what was talked about. But as a summary, Mr. Nyerere, you had a meeting with the county commissioner, at least his representative, as well as the deputy. Exactly, in Kuria, in Mabera, and we just want to know what next after this. What are the next steps that you're planning in regards to the security of the girls that are both in the centers as well as ending FGM specifically? Are there any arrests that are going to be done to make sure that the perpetrators, the cutters, as well as those pushing and protecting these girls are held accountable?
Yeah, of course, after doing the meeting, we've actually been able to strategize on how to. I don't want really to release the details of what we discussed on but our agreement has been that the fleet officers are supposed now to enhance their patrols and surveillance. So as an FGM board, that is actually our position to be able to root out any planned activities of FGM within the community. So we've also had a very close meeting with the CFOs and we requested them to be able to give us intelligence because the police cannot be everywhere. So it's the responsibility of the security personnel and the FGM and the community staff to be able to share information so that they will be able to control the situation. But I think I must have shared with you that we'll be having a meeting with the sub-county anti-FGM steering committee. So this one comprises of 18 members from each of the sub-counties, that is East and West, to be able now so that they can give us maybe new insights that we can use in handling this situation. And then on Wednesday, we'll be having also a meeting with the sub-county the county anti-FGM steering committee, the overall now county committee in the county to be able now also to address this. But I think I remember your remarks. You said that you've been reaching out for 2 weeks to a FGM board. And it's like you've not been getting feedback. I really don't know. Maybe you can clarify on that.
I didn't say 2 weeks. Since we started this campaign, we've been trying to reach out, and we've also run vibrant campaigns on social media, tagging you, and no response, not a single response from any person from the anti-FGM board. And today morning, how I got your contacts as well, was from the chairperson who's not feeling very well, and also away from basically in the field. She told me that. So. That's what the situation is. We've been trying our best, and you also know from your end. I just don't want us to end up in a place where we're talking about who has not done what, trying to defend or cover our backs. We have to save these girls. That's the point, and that's the goal of this campaign by the end of the day. I'd rather be celebrating my Christmas during this time. So thank you very much. I think I'd just say thank you for everyone who's joined. I don't know, Vincent, you're on the ground, Tobias, you're on the ground. Any last words that you have to everyone as well as to Mr. Nyerere? What are the needs on the ground right now as you bring this to a close?
Okay, I think okay. Oh, Vincent Nyerere.
Vincent.
Yeah, you can proceed. Sorry.
Your last words, Vincent, as you bring this to a close.
Okay, thank you so much, and I'm glad to hear the sentiments of Arsenals and also the Mr. Nyerere from Anti-FGM board, whom we just have a session with in the last 1 hour. I think I guess so. So my last word moving forward, I just want whatever we've discussed, whatever strategies and proposals we put down as the non-state actors, we just need to see them being actionable, because even in our constitution, regardless of even leave alone the Prohibition Act, even the constitution says that it's the sole role of the state to ensure that children are protected against harmful cultural practices and also from harm. So we are looking forward to see more girls who are at risk in the villages. Like Nyerere said, we have agreed on that. They have discussed that with the security intelligence, and also they confirmed to us during our meeting. We really need to have an enhanced security surveillance, especially from the homes that are suspected that FGM will erupt from. And also we are looking forward to see that also the welfare of the rescued girls who are at the rescue space, as we've also discussed, that their welfare are taken care of by all partners coming together, and also the state ensuring that, in coordinating all that and ensuring that. So as we are moving forward, and as I leave the safe space right now, because I want to get where the power is, I just want to say that it's also good for the state and also the administration to ensure that, even as we are not saying that there is insecurity right now at the safe space, but at least the presence of police and also that security that it's needed in this temporary safe space, even as we discuss other things and also moving forward. And looking forward to also see that overnight, the homes, all the areas like Nyamunsese and also Ira and Kabul areas are, especially we would like to see patrol and all that, because we are trying also, we want to have rest as well, and we let us see a lot of calls that we've been experiencing as activists on the ground are minimized, at least while working collectively as the administration and also the non-state actors. Thank you, Jeremiah, and the rest of the team. Kuria.
Thanks a lot. And over to you as we bring this to a close. Tobias, your last words. What needs to be done?
Yeah, thank you. One, I want to urge that we work as a team. Let us translate everything into action. And second, I want to say that the rescue center we are running, I want to say that we have space that can accommodate more girls. But the problem now is that we have limited resources. So if we are able to get resources, then I think we can help. We can actually help. We can rescue more guys.
All right. Actually, on that note, I see Seswangwe just in response to you, Nyerere. I think there's a lot of conversations you need to have on the ground in Kuria. She says, Mr. Nyerere, point of correction, yes, Zinduka does GEP programs, but you also do rescue, and the girls at Sakuri right now are a result of the CAT, which is happening, and not GAP. So it's important that we are all on the same board. Billy Otieno is asking, as an anti-FGM board, what are the preparedness plans every year, and we don't want to see the same as we don't want to see the same things yearly. I think we'll have that conversation later. To you, Mr. Nyerere, probably just as you answer and give us your final words on this. I think there's just basically a breakdown of communication in this regard, on which one is a rescue center or which one is a GP program. So just your final words on, or any responses you have to that as we bring this to a close.
Okay, thank you. First of all, as a GFGM, but we have to say that we actually took the course, and we have to realize our mission of ending FGM, having our satisfactory space of FGM, and also implementing the FGM from 2022 for the and ending FGM is a responsibility of all of us. And I want to thank actually the persons who were there today. There is that collaboration and partnership. And as a TFGM board, we promise that we will do all that to our disposal to ensure that we are able to support our girls. In fact, for those who are in the rescue, the TFGM board will come in and support in terms of food and any other requirements, basic things that you may require, so that they also live in a humane environment. But at the end of it all, we simply say that it's very unfortunate that even despite the existing policies, acts, the existing framework, and all the rest, the FGM is still going on. So, but actually, that is our mandate to ensure that we have a strategies based on community information. So, we'll be working with the communities to ensure that we are able to control.
Thank you very much. To you, Asenat, as we bring this to a close, your last statement.
Thank you, Kip. I think really this is a matter of urgency. Support is necessary and required, as you've heard. I've forgotten his name from Kuria say that they need house resources to support the resource of the shelters where these girls are being kept, and also there is a need to apprehend the perpetrators who have caused the harm to the girls. So action and immediate action is what is required now to salvage the situation and to protect the rest of the girls from the cat.
I said that this is Vincent.
Yes, Vincent. Yes, Lord Vincent. Thank you, Vincent.
All right. Thank you very much, and thank you for joining us today. We'll still have this conversation tomorrow, same time, same place. So be sure to stay tuned as we continue to make sure that our girls are safe during the Christmas season. So thank you very much for everyone who's joined the panel. Asenat, thank you for joining in quite impromptu, as well as Mr. Nyerere, who's joined us from the field with poor network connections, just to put everything on the table and make sure that we are all on the same page, working together in harmony to end FGM, and as well as Vincent, who's been tirelessly informing us, as well as having these conversations with us, and finally closing with Tobias, who is also in Kuria, running a center where the girls are. So thank you very much. We do appreciate everything. Let's meet tomorrow, same place, same time. We'll announce to you who will be speaking again tomorrow. Asanteni sana, and I have to say kwaheri and see you then.
Good night, kwaheri.